All right, dear ladies and gentlemen, let's have us 2 seconds to round up the conversations and to focus and come back to why we are here, because we're here for the Toastmasters International Sessions. Dear ladies and gentlemen, my name is Walter Schwartz. I'm the current president of Toastmasters International Club here in St. Petersburg, and I warmly welcome you to the 139th meeting, which is a live meeting today. And as always, please apologize our delay due to technical reasons. It's always a mess with technology, and now we're not only live, but we're also Zoom, and that's a hybrid thing. So there are even more possibilities and connections to make things not work, but eventually we made it work. Cut a long story short, I would love to introduce our Toastmaster of the day, and he is going to guide you through our agenda. Our Toastmaster of the day, Counseling, dear Brenda.
Thank you very much, Walter. Walter, I stand right here, correct?
Yes.
As Walter said, welcome to the 139th meeting of the Toastmasters Club of St. Petersburg. We can say with great assurity, I think, that this is the liveliest, the most successful English-speaking Toastmasters Club here in St. Petersburg, the city that Peter the Great founded 318 years ago this week. If we had a glass in front of us, I would say let's raise a toast to the 318th birthday of the St. Petersburg, of the city of St. Petersburg. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's May. It's the end of May. All around the world, in more than 160,000, or sorry, in more than 16,000 clubs in 145 different countries, Toastmasters are preparing for their new Toastmaster year, and they're electing a new leadership team. Why are they doing it in May? Because the Toastmasters year starts on the 1st of July and runs until the end of June. And because this is a time when clubs all around the world are electing new leaders, we're bringing in fresh ideas, we're bringing in fresh faces, and it's a period of new beginnings. So our theme for the meeting today is It's Election Time, a time for new beginnings. Our club was formally chartered on the 28th of June in 2016. So we are almost 5 years old. Within a month, we'll be a 5-year-old club. And what's not only will we be celebrating the 5th year of our club, but we'll also be entering a very new era for our club, because at the end of June, right, I should say at the beginning of July, all of the clubs in Russia will become part of a new district. We have, up until this point, been undistricted. We've been this wild area. But we will become part of a new district, which is called District 108. And that district currently consists of Poland, Finland, and the Baltic states. So we will all be combined. And all of those, originally they thought that it would just be a little tiny section of Russia in the west that would join up with District 108, but in fact, we're going to go all the way over to Sakhalin Island, where there's actually a Rotary Club, Toastmasters Club now. So for us, this is something new. It is a new beginning. We have no experience being part of a district, most of us. Michael actually being the exception, because Michael has been actively involved before in a district as an area director. But for those of us in Russia, it's a new opportunity, and it's, as we will learn, it's an opportunity for us to grow as a club, grow as individuals, and to connect more with the international side of what Toastmasters is all about. Because, as Walter said, this is Toastmasters International. We are a club, and we are part of this big fellowship of clubs all around the world that come together and meet for 2 basic purposes. One is for people to improve their communication skills, to get over their fear of speaking in public, to help learn how to formulate their thoughts quickly and more concisely and get a point across to an audience. But Toastmasters is also a platform for leadership development. So it's a chance for people to learn how to communicate better, but also how to lead better. And both of those skills are extremely valuable and important in our professional lives, whether we're at the beginning or not at the beginning of our professional lives. So I welcome all of you here today. I would just like to ask if people could put up their hands who are here for the first time. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new people. I hope 7 new people can understand me, because sometimes I speak fast and sometimes I speak in this monotone voice, which puts people to sleep. So my challenge in Toastmasters is to learn how to keep you engaged and to modulate my voice and to encourage you to come back to the next meeting that we have. So Walter didn't have a chance because of all of our technical issues to give a large introduction into our club. Since we have so many new visitors, we meet every 2 weeks, or at least twice a month in St. Petersburg. We have for the past 5 years. Our club is made up of Russians and foreigners. We try to attract both, of course. We try to attract more native English speakers so that you get a chance to hear us speak. Some of us are from the United States and have a funny accent. Some of us are from Canada and have a funnier accent. And if we had somebody from Scotland here today, then we could say we have someone with a very funny accent. And I can say that because I have some Scottish blood, and I've struggled in the past to understand how Scots speak. So this is actually it's not an English language training session. Toastmasters is all about communication effectiveness. And so here in St. Petersburg, we have an English-speaking club. In Moscow, we actually have 7 different clubs now. One of them is German-speaking, one is French-speaking, and 2 are Russian-speaking. So the aim of Toastmasters, irrespective of the language of the meeting, is to help people improve their communication, effectiveness, confidence speaking in front of people, and as I said, leadership development. All of the clubs around the world that are members of Toastmasters have a standard constitution, and they have a more or less standard set of bylaws. What that means is that every club basically has the same structure. It has a leadership team, which consists of a president, a vice, which is Walter in our case, a vice president of education, which at the moment is me, who is responsible for the program, the educational program element within the club. We have a vice president of membership, which is the fine gentleman off to my left, who is responsible to bring and help us bring in new members to our club. We have a vice president of public relations, who's wearing a hoodie at the front. That's Konstantin, who is responsible to spread the word about us. We have a club secretary, which I'm the acting secretary now, because our previous secretary became too busy in his work. We almost have a treasurer. We don't have a lot of money, but Walter also has substitutes as the treasurer. And we have a sergeant at arms. We don't have the sergeant at arms here today, but Konstantin is fulfilling that role. The role of the sergeant at arms is to make sure the meeting is set up and guests are welcomed and the meeting can flow. So those 7 officers actually are elected every May to take office in the coming July. And they are joined by one more member who is the outgoing president of the club, which we call the immediate past president. And together, those 8 people form the executive team for the club. So at this time of the year, we will be looking to elect our new incoming board. And this club is very small. So we have a lot of guests today, which is a positive, very positive thing. And it's a big benefit for us being in this setting physically in front of people in the library. We are very lucky in the last year that we have had members join who didn't see us physically. So Marina and Valeriya joined us without ever having met us. So that was just online. Now that we are meeting offline, it's easier for us to reach out to welcome new people. And as a club, we want to grow. We want to have at least 20 to 25 core members of the club. Why will we need that? You'll see, if you're new, you'll see that in a second. But this is the time of year when we must elect these people. And we need our new members to step up and take roles. And we need our old members to come back and support the new members so that together we can make this a strong club going into its new 6th year as a part of this new district. And I personally think that we should be the strongest, most successful, most interesting club in Russia. And then we should start to take over the district. in a very mild way. So for those of you who are new, every 2 weeks we meet here. We run a meeting which has a similar sort of structure. We have a planned agenda. So this is something we learn in Toastmasters, how to plan an agenda. Agenda should be run on to its time. We should not be starting late. And you will see that later on, Marina will give us a report on how we have done today, looking at different elements of our meeting. So we have people who come here with prepared speeches. They have prepared a speech against a project they will present. That's the first part of our meeting. The second half of our meeting, we will have impromptu speaking, which means all of you can have a chance to get up and say something for 1 to 2 minutes on a topic that our Toastmaster Alexander, or our topic master Alexander, will present. So we have prepared speeches, we have impromptu speaking, and then following that, our third session is evaluations. This is very important because we are a club of volunteers who come together and we learn by doing and by listening, by getting positive, critical feedback each time we get up and speak. So the evaluation meeting is very important. Because of that, we actually have many different roles that we have to fill in each meeting. And the leader of our support team, which is the different roles that support our meeting today, is Marina. Marina, would you like to come up and introduce the people on our team?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good afternoon, dear guests and fellow Toastmasters. My role today is to observe the meeting today throughout and kind of look at how the meeting is organized, how the presenters are performing, how the evaluators are doing. Also looking at the timing reports, and I will give you my feedback at the end of the meeting. So today we're going to have 3 speakers and 3 evaluators. It's going to be a very intense meeting today, so please be patient and let's follow our schedule today because time is everything. Time is important. And like Randall said, evaluation is also a very important part of our meeting. We are trying to give each other feedback and in order to get better, because the main purpose of us coming here to improve our public speaking skills, our organizational skills. So also in my report, I will give you some good examples if someone was really good in their speech or organization, or showed some extraordinary skills in presenting. Also, let me introduce to you today our grammarian. Our grammarian is Rami Saeed, and he will be sharing with you word of the day. Rami, can you hear us?
Yes, hello everyone. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah. We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So my role today is the following. First, I will be checking I'll be looking for the nice phrases that you use in English grammar. I will try to detect some mistakes that you've used. And also I will be introducing the word of the day, and I will be recording how many times you've used it. So every time you use the word of the day, I'll be clapping and I'll be writing it down for you. And at the end, I will be giving this report for the speakers and the people who have been participating. As well, I will be counting your ahs and ems, ers, so double words that you use when you're trying to think about something. And let me now show you the word of the day. So I'll demonstrate my screen. So the word of the day is conspicuous. It means very noticeable and attracting attention. Conspicuous. I'll keep it on my background so you can see it. So try to use it today. Conspicuous. Example. He tried not to look conspicuous and moved slowly along the back of the room. In China, her blonde hair was conspicuous. She felt very conspicuous in her pink coat. He was uncomfortable about his compitious weight gain. The business was a conspicuous success. Let me know if I spelled it incorrectly. Okay, back to you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rami. So like Rami mentioned, he also is going to play a role of accounter. This is also a very interesting role, maybe a little bit boring to count everything, but at the end of the day, you'll be surprised how many odds and all the filling words we pronounce during our speech, not even noticing. But it's very useful to hear that report at the end. And also our timer is going to be Walter as well. You played another role. Yes. Walter, would you like us to tell something about your role?
Yes, the role of the timer is just to make sure that you guys get familiar with time restrictions that we always have in live, and realizing that all of our speakers today who will be speaking and the table topic section at the end, which you will contribute and participate with, can't be an endless story. So you always look at me, as do the readers, and throughout the certain frame of time, I will give you a green light, this is your good to go. I will provide you a yellow light so that you can see.
You're showing the wrong side of the piece of paper. It said other side.
I will show you the green line where you're good to go. Obviously, the yellow one when something's coming to an end and you should find your final line. And this is to signal to give you the signal that you're slightly over time and you should finish now. That's it. Okay, everyone good with that? Good. Perfect. Thank you very much, Marina. Back to you.
Thank you, Walter. And as a reminder, I'm going to remind everyone that all the speakers are going to have from 3 to 5 minutes for their speeches, and each evaluator have from 2 to 3 minutes.
We have one more person, Victor, who is going to be a quizmaster. Victor is a guest. I have a question about from Singapore.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize we have one more guest, Victor. Victor, welcome to our club meeting today. And would you like to introduce your role of the quizmaster?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Hello, we can hear you. The floor
Yes,
is
my
yours.
my role today is a quizmaster. I will be listening actively whatever is said during the meeting, and after close to end of the meeting, I will run a quiz out of 5 or 6 questions, maybe less, and these questions will be related to the content said by the speakers or by anyone who was in the meeting. Then just give me your answer, and you will be the one who win the prize. Over to you.
Victor is joining us from Singapore, is it right?
Yes, I'm from one of the Toastmasters Club in Singapore. I'm VP Education in our club, and got re-elected recently.
That's great.
As a VP Education.
It's good to have you here with us. And also let me introduce you our table topics master. It's going to be Alexander Chernov. Alexander, please come over and introduce your role.
Oh, it's simple ones. Okay, table topics. As president, as our VP of Education said, that's the Toastmasters is all about being in an uncomfortable position and coming out with a good result. Yeah, so I will put you in a bad position and you'll try to wiggle your way out. So I will ask you several questions that are only I know, and you can see it in my bag. So yeah, I'll ask several members and several of our guests to come here and just answer the questions before our audience and another audience out there. So yeah, get ready. We will not bite you. No, we're not bloodthirsty, even though maybe we should be. But anyway, you'll come here, you'll answer my questions. Is that right?
Yay!
Yeah.
So go get ready.
Thank you, Alexander. And I'm giving the word back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Gagarina. For all of us who are speaking here today, Victor asked if we could stand back and stay in front of the camera. So if we go off like this, then he can't see us. So that's a good point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have come to hear people speak, and you are going to hear some fantastic speakers, beginning with a man who is, as I said, in a hoodie, who is our Vice President of Relations and who is currently pursuing our innovative planning pathway. So there are 13 different pathways within Toastmasters, and each path has a set of projects. Konstantin has a project today, which is called Present a Proposal. It is to make a 5 to 7 minute speech, and his speech is entitled, Let's Get Famous. So ladies and gentlemen, Konstantin, let's get famous. Konstantin Kuts.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmasters, friends, my speech today is a project of proposal for our club to make our club more conspicuous in the area of Saint Petersburg. And I would like to give you some points. First, I want to propose a set of actions that will result in making our club more recognizable in the area of Saint Petersburg. Also will provide some activities and some more opportunities to speak for our current club members. So I decided to deliver this speech because once I've been sitting and thinking about that, I attend our Toastmasters Club only once in 2 weeks. But in fact, in reality, I attended like maybe 2 to 3 months and two to three times in 2 months. It's not really a great time to practice and to achieve my goals. And I thought that maybe we should add an additional thing to our club activities. And I came up with an idea of a book club. What is a book club? Sounds a little bit boring, but actually it's a great event to practice, to boost. During the book club event, you can prepare for this event. You have to read the book, read the chapters. It will boost your vocabulary. Also, you will practice your verbal skills with other members of the club. And it will also provide more opportunities for our current club members to fulfill the roles of moderators of this event. So why it might be interesting for our club? Exactly. Because that's a way for us, for Saint Petersburg Toastmasters, to attract more audience, more people to our events. Because right now we only host event once in 2 weeks, and then we will have book club. We will be able to host event every week, and it will continue grow our audience. So why I decided to propose exactly a book club? Because the book club meeting can be structured in a way like we can have 1 or 2 hours event. It will be managed by 1 or 2 Toastmasters who will manage this meeting. And during the meeting, we can discuss previous chapters of the book we are reading currently. We can just discuss the plot, the idea of the author, why he decided to write it in this way. And it also can be supplemented with quizzes and with role playing. Like you can imagine you are the one actor and you are the second, and you communicate like it was in the book. Okay, it might sound a little bit boring, so I decided to propose another alternatives for our side activities. It might be masterclass. serial clubs, like the same thing as a book club, but we discuss popular series from streaming platforms like Netflix or whatever. And the third activity is, yeah, more masterclasses. Just, just what exactly I mean by masterclass. We have great residents in our club, such as Michael. He can provide masterclass in business and leadership. We have Randall, like he can provide a masterclass speaking in Chinese. He speaks Chinese. And yeah, and Walter can teach us how to dance. I think it's also a great opportunity to come to library and just dance around. But the most important thing about side activity, that apart from being a magnet for individuals from around the place, we can also charge for those events. And it might be not a popular idea at the moment, because Toastmasters stands on elephants, on principles of integrity, of valuing the member, of respect the individual, and dedication to excellence. But who said we cannot earn on it a little bit just to meet our needs as a club? So personal budget of our club will provide us following goods. Like we can pay for advertising, make us more popular. We can get premium accounts from social networks like meetme.com. We can have a chance to organize an event outside the library, just host it somewhere. We can supplement our meetings with foods and drinks, and it's probably one of the best ones. And we can have little things like printed certificates or trophies for ones who performed best. Okay, if you not convinced yet, I want to conclude that it's just an idea. It's just for your judgment. But in order to be a sustainable club and to grow, I think we need to set up at least 3 things to start from. And the first and the obvious, our club currently do not have a website. So I propose to set up a good website with all the information about our club, about what we are up to, what we do, like for logging our events. Also give it a try to book club for at least 2 months. 2 months is enough to finish 1 book. And if we will like it, we will just continue. And the third is to set up a Telegram channel for all who are not the current members of our club, so we can have additional point of contact with our target audience, and also to just get in touch with them. Okay, let's make our club a magnet for brilliant individuals who strive for excellence. And as American comedian Milton Berle once said, if an opportunity doesn't knock your door, build a door. So let's build some doors and make us our club the best.
What a fantastic idea. It came to my mind with a book that I want to read in English. Recently, I decided I want to read it, The Jungle Book, because President Vladimir Vladimirovich quoted a couple of interesting comments in that book, and I've never read it. And I was just thinking, taking your next step, if that's not too exciting, because we could all read the book, and then we could dress up as characters, little cosplay, then have a party. I completely agree with you, Konstantin, that our club needs to have more social events and out-of-the-box thinking. That's a great idea. Konstantin's speech right now was part of his of a project that was to present a proposal, and we'll get feedback afterwards about from his evaluator about that. But I just want you to understand that he had to give a 5 to 7 minute speech, which he did, on a topic which was to present a proposal. Our second speaker today is our most talkative member of the club and our most experienced member of the club within the whole Toastmasters system. He is a professional speaker in one of his iterations in life. So he has had several different careers, and one of them is as a professional speaker. He is currently following the engaging humor pathway, And he is going to present a project today, which is about lessons learned. So his requirement is to present to us a 5 to 7 minute speech on the subject of lessons learned. And Michael Waiter, if you could come up. Michael Waiter is going to give us a speech. Lead yourself first. Lead yourself first. Michael Waiter.
Thank you very much. How many of you would like to write a book and have it published? Anybody? Yeah, I agree. Me too. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Writing a book is a little bit difficult. Getting it published is harder. There are thousands and thousands of books that are written every year by people who wind up sitting on their shelf or on their desk or in their cabinet and never being published. Now, for myself, I have written 6 books. And when I wrote the first book in 2001 and the second book in 2003, I self-published. I wrote the books, I did the editing, I did the graphics, I did the marketing, I did everything myself, including paying for my own printing of the books, and then distributed some of these books to my friends, but I didn't sell any. So then I came to Russia in 2004. And when I came to Russia, I found out there was a shortage of knowledge about my topics. I was talking to them about lean technology, the Toyota production system. And there isn't much knowledge here in Russia about that. So I was contacted by Alpina Publishing in Moscow, and they published my book. You have to understand, when you deal with a publisher like Alpina, you have no choices as an author. They tell you what the cover is going to look like. They tell you what the size is going to be. They tell you how much they're going to pay you, and you have no choice if you want them to publish it. So I did with my first 2 books. And then I wrote my third book. And my third book was about leadership, because I saw that that was needed. And when I wrote that, I also self-published my third book. When I published my third book, the first cover was like this: your attitude determines your altitude. When I brought it to Russia, I self-published it, not Alpina, and I put it into Russian. So it was a Russian book, still self-published. That was in 2005. In 2010, I decided to rewrite my book, put more modern examples in it, because there was a long, many-year difference between when I first wrote it and then, and I called it Leader of Change. And this was my cover. Again, self-published, did everything myself. Well, then comes a pandemic. Here we are in 2020. It was very conspicuous to me that I was never going to be a successful author and sell books if I self-published. I need to find a publisher. So I went to the countries online where I have been in the past. I worked in Singapore, I worked in Malaysia, I worked in India, I worked in Russia, and I worked in the United States. Those are the 5 primary countries I have worked in. So I looked for publishers in those countries, and I couldn't find any that were agreeable. They wanted to give me almost no royalty. They wanted to have total control. And I said, not for me. I don't like that. So I decided to take this book, Leader of Change, and I sent it to an author, a professional consultant, leadership trainer in America named Brian Tracy. I don't know if any of you know who Brian Tracy is. I sent this to him. I asked him for endorsement. He said yes. He gave me an endorsement for my book. He also gave me the name of a publishing company. Well, I didn't contact that publishing company immediately when he gave me. I waited a few weeks, and all of a sudden, on April 8th, I get an email from Grace Point Publishing in the United States who's interested in my book. Big surprise to me. So I said, great, somebody is interested. So we had our first meeting on April 22nd, online Zoom meeting. Since then, we have had 5 more Zoom meetings. We've also had many emails back and forth. They offered to publish my book. So I said, this is great. So we had a few meetings and we had to have some discussions. One of the discussions we had is that I sent them a book that said, Leader of Change is my title, and I want to cover something like this. What I got back was this: lead yourself first. Now, you have to understand, they're a little bit different than the other publishing companies that I had worked with. They said, this is our recommendation. They said, what, as the author, what do you think? As the author, it's your book. We're not going to dictate to you what it has to be for a title. We want to work with you to get a title you like, cover you like, and we want to sell your book. It was very, very clear to me that for many years I've been struggling, and now I found somebody who was willing to work with me. So we had several meetings, and then we decided to pick a cover. This is the cover that we came up with. This is the one that's going to be on the book. So I think it's okay. It's not my first choice. It was actually my second choice. But among them, they are professional people in the publishing industry. They went to Simon & Schuster, which is one of the world's biggest publishers. They went to Amazon.com. They went to 2 of the largest bookstores in America and said, what are your top books? What are your #1 sellers? And once they found that out, then they said, this should be the cover. On May 20th, we had a lessons learned meeting, and I'm going to read from this because I don't want to get it wrong. We had selected the title, the layout, done everything, and worked together as a team. When you do that, you should have a meeting at the end that says, what did we learn? So for my editor, Mark, he said it was helpful that I tried to self-publish it first, and then when he was able to edit it, went much quicker. He said, don't edit it in pieces, only edit it when you got the whole thing done. Tasha, who was the coordinator for layout, she says, Michael was flexible. In other words, when she made suggestions to me, I said, maybe, possible. We discussed it, we came up with a solution. I didn't say it has to be my way only. She liked that. Jessica, who was a graphic designer, she made a cover much different than mine. She said it was great having a starting point and going forward. She liked the fact that I had an idea to give her first. The director of their company said, it's very difficult to work with an experienced author because he knows what he doesn't want. She says that's difficult. But she says because of our short time frame, we were able to put it together. Ladies and gentlemen, in 53 days from start to finish, they contacted me and the book will be published on next Monday. Super. Why? Because I reached out to somebody else and let them do what they do well, and I do what I do well. You need to think about that when you're a project manager. Mr. Toastmaster, back to you.
You stand back. Michael, you were perfectly positioned throughout your speech. So this is the area. I think that's why you put the chairs here.
Yes, sir. For people like you.
Okay. So congratulations, Michael. On my behalf, I listened to Michael give a presentation to our Rotary Club in January on the topic of writing a book and publishing it, and he shared an enormous number of facts about how extremely difficult it is to actually get published. And perhaps you can come back and give us that speech after it's been published. But it's fantastic to know that you have been able to move in January from giving a speech about how difficult it is to publish a new book to actually getting it published. And as you saw from the crowd, Michael, looked like about 10 different people would like to write and publish a book. One of the things that Michael likes to do within our club is to mentor. So maybe somebody has actually got a manuscript that they could move forward with. Ladies and gentlemen, our third speaker of the day is Valeriya Gagarina. Valeriya is currently pursuing the effective coaching pathway, and she has to give a 5 to 7 minute speech also on the topic of researching and presenting. And Valeriya is going to give a speech today, which is entitled, I Am Remarkable. I am remarkable, Valeriya Gagarina.
Just need 1 minute. I will share my screen. Huh? I don't understand.
Hold on.
You want a screen share?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ready. It's ready. Yeah, we're going to do screen share in a second. I got to get here. I get here. Now I got to go screen share. Screen share.
Right. Lower. You're going to scroll the mouse right hand side. You want me to help me out?
Yeah, it's not. We'll see the mouse.
There's the mouse.
There you
There you
go.
go. Screen share. Он просто второй монитор взял направо. Поэтому какой? Вот здесь? Ага. Test. We don't see you being remarkable. It's showing now. Секундочку. You see it? You see it?
You won't see it on that screen.
You want to see it? We'll make a workaround. Is that okay for you? Is that okay for you? Oh, for the audience, yes. Is it okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's great. Okay. So, hello everyone, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I came here to tell you all that I am remarkable. And so you too, everyone, each and every one of you is remarkable. Please raise your hand if you understand what I'm talking about. Well, I see many people. Yeah, that's great. But for those of you who is not familiar with the topic, I'm Remarkable is an initiative started by Google. They provide a workshop on this topic. And this is to empower women and other underrepresented groups to celebrate their achievement at workplace and beyond. So why this movement started? It was research by Google, and it showed that women are less likely than men to talk about their achievements on the workplace. And as a consequence, they get less promotion for that. So they started in Google teaching women first, and then all other people, like anyone, to be able, don't to be shy to talk about their success, about their achievements. I learned about this initiative a couple of weeks ago, thanks to my friend and colleague Gagarina, sitting over there. She is a facilitator of I'm Remarkable workshop trained by Google. So if you need one. But I was curious, what are the reasons behind it? Why cannot we talk openly about our achievement? Why are we doubting our talents? Why are we so shy and modest? And there are many reasons for that. So we are basically raised up in this way, yeah, in our parents, teachers at school, professors in the college, they're all telling us that it's bragging when you're talking about your success, but actually it's not bragging if it's based on facts. I found out that this all goes back to the stereotypes. We all raised up in those worlds where these stereotypes govern our actions. Yeah, what we do, what we think about ourselves. There were some research made in different universities, Harvard, Stanford, which discover how those thoughts affect our performance in different spheres. And so in science, it's called, in psychology, it's called stereotype threat. There were several experiments in the laboratory of Stanford by Professors Steele and Joshua Aronson, where they took a group of students with with the same preparation, with the same level of their education, of their knowledge. The difference was about the race. Part of the students were black and part of the students were white. And in the first group, they told them that, you know, there is this thing, like a known thing, that black students perform worse on those tests. And in this group, it was really so. And in the group where they didn't tell anything, the grades, the score of the test were more or less the same. Then they performed the same experiment on groups with different genders, the same, like telling women, like it's known that women are bad in math and science, and they got the same result. That those things affect our performance because we experience more stress under those conditions. Why is it so important to talk about our achievements? Because this also helps us to deal with this stereotype threat and be more confident about our performance. And as a result, we in the career, we can get better jobs, better promotions, and so on, and also in personal life as well. So a part of this stereotype threat coming from outside, we also have this inner critic. Even nobody tells us that we are bad, like women are bad drivers or bad in math or something. We might have this inner voice in ourselves, which, like everyone, not only women, also men, like men are not sensitive. You can hear such things like boys don't cry, like you are too tall, you are too short, you are too skinny, you are too fat, you are too blonde. That all also affect our behavior and performance. But there are luckily the ways to reduce stereotype threat. Some of them you can see listed here. And I would like to bring your attention to the last one, the value affirmation, which is exactly what this I am remarkable initiative is about. So I would like you at the end of my presentation to think about one thing which makes you remarkable. For me, for example, standing here, facing my fear of public speaking is such thing. What is about you? And now I want you to applaud yourself for you being so remarkable. And
Thank you very much, Valeriya. Thank you. Valeriya. Thank you. I came from China, where I lived for 21 years, which is a very long time. And I was in the spa business for 15 years. I was in a company that was entirely Chinese, except for me, and where 80% of the staff were ladies, except for me. Well, not except for me, including me on the other side. And I was just thinking about what you were talking about. We'll have to stand back. I'll have to stand over here. One thing in our business, in the nail, manicure, pedicure side of our business, 99% of our staff are ladies. But there was one man who stood out, who all the ladies love to go to get their nails done. So he was very much outside of the stereotype of who in China should be a typical therapist. And then I thought of another thing, because at the end you had yellow and blue. I'm not sure why you chose yellow and blue, but I was thinking baby blue, pink. And one of the ways that I stood out in China, I like to wear pink. I had pink clothing, I had pink cell phone, I had a whole bunch of pink things. And in the eyes of my staff, who were mostly ladies, they thought that was very strange. So that was very unstereotypical for a guy to be spending so much time with pink. Okay, I need now to introduce our timer to give us a brief report on how our three speakers spoke. They each had an assignment to speak 5 to 7 minutes. And in Toastmasters, if you speak an extra 30 seconds at the end, you're still qualified for our vote, because we will have a vote for the best speaker. And normally we would also give some time and some forms for you to give personal feedback to each of the speakers. Unfortunately, we don't have the forms today, but the ballot we can do. And so we need to know how our three speakers fared today regarding time.
Yes, dear Mr. Toastmaster, the time is reported as following. We have Konstantin Kuts with 6 minutes and 55, will be in the maximum of 7 minutes. He's good to go for the race. Number 2, Michael with 7 minutes and 52, which is a bit of a red one. Even considering this 30 seconds of being a very nice audience, he's out of the game. And number 3, Valeriya with 6 minutes and 57, spot on. So we have 2 contestants for the vote right now, which we will kick in a second. And please open your mobile phones to use the QR code, which you will see on the screen in a couple of seconds. Thank you very much. Back to you.
So thank you very much, Walter. So we are a very somewhat technically, I won't say very, somewhat technically challenged club, but we have mastered ballot counting. So you will see a QR code. Please choose one of the 2 candidates. So first one was Konstantin, obviously, and the second one you will see is Valeriya. So please scan that and follow that and vote.
Does that work?
Yeah, don't look at me. You got to look at your QR
Yes,
code.
good, good. We always need feedback.
Okay, that's happening. That is happening now. So we have now completed the first half of our meeting. We will have a short break. There's a washroom downstairs in case anyone needs it. We'll take a 10-minute break maximum. And then when we come back, we will immediately start into the table topics, because you all know what it's all about now. So time now is, Walter, 1:11. So we have 10 minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we said we would give you a 10-minute break. And what did we do? We gave you a 10-minute break. So if everybody could please sit down. If the officers in the corner could please settle down, that would be appreciated. Vika raised a very good question, how to speak in front of this club. And I heard a second question saying that this is a private club. Well, we're not that private. The way it works in Toastmasters all around the world is that if you join a club, then you get access to the learning system, which is all online. And in that learning system, you choose a path. And I mentioned before, each of our 3 speakers, they were all choosing a different path. So Michael wants to be funny. Konstantin wants to be innovative. And I forget, Valeriya, what you want to be, your path. Effective coaching. So when you join us, you do a self-evaluation to find out which direction is of most interest to you. Maybe you want to be a better salesperson. Maybe you want to be funny. Maybe you want to be someone who can do very good PowerPoint presentations. So Toastmasters has a set of structured projects. Some of them are the same across all of the paths. The first one being an icebreaker. So when you come up to give your first speech, it's about you. Who am I? Why am I here? What do I want to do in my life? What matters to me? So you just talk about yourself. So that is common across all of the paths. So if you want to join our club, it's really very simple. There's a simple membership form, which Michael mentioned. You fill that into him. And we basically don't charge any additional costs ourselves, but we have to all pay a $45 US dollar fee every 6 months to Toastmasters International. And that's everyone around the world pays the same fee. And with that, we get access to the whole educational system. And then you can give a prepared speech in the first half of our meeting. Aside from that, in the second half of the meeting, anybody can speak. And so we encourage you as guests to come and join us. Come and visit us a few times. If you actually find this interesting, you find that you like us and want to be part of us, then please join the club. We want to grow. We would like to have 50 members, not our current membership, which is about 15. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the second half, and we're going to speak in an impromptu session. And the person who's going to lead us in that is our very own Alexander Chernov, who is our topic master of the day. Are they going to be easy or hard today?
You know me. It's not a good sign. Very well then. I've already talked about what you're gonna do, what I'm gonna make you do. So yeah, you come over here and you make a speech and look at Mr. President with his orange. Oh no, it's red, yellow, and green. So don't forget it. Mr. Timer, tell us about the time. How much time do people have?
2 minutes.
So yeah, don't go overboard. From 1 minute to 2 minutes.
Yes. 1 minute, green, 1:30, yellow, 2 minutes, red. Traffic light. Correct?
Yeah. That's how we do it in the elementary school. So yeah. My topics are never easy. Well, especially right now, because I had some troubles and I wrote them down. I started to change my profession, so I had to disappear for a while, and I had some thoughts that I found in my notebook. So I just rephrased them, and maybe you will help me in some parts of my kind of difficult right now life. Yeah, it sounds hard, but well, it's up to you to make it funnier. So maybe I will volunteer 2 people myself, and after this, you volunteer yourselves.
You will fight.
Hey, you too lovely. Yeah, come here. So yeah, present yourself.
My name is Dima.
Dima.
Yeah, I actually won twice the best prize for this expromptu speech, so I don't vote
Okay.
for me. Just give me a chance.
I'd randomize it, but
Yes.
if you won 2 times,
Yes,
you know what?
give me a chance to be unsatisfied.
Challenge. Give me a sec.
Sec,
Give me a
not
sec.
sex, just sec. Okay.
Hey. Hey, be careful.
Okay. Okay. At what would you consider yourself to be an accomplished person, and what should you do for it? What after? I will be very serious and very quick.
Yes, you should.
Yes, I will be even as calm speakers as possible. Today, I had a session of.
I must interrupt you.
Yeah.
The point clear. Once you are below a minute, it's too little to be voted. You can't have a 15-second speech.
Okay.
So to be considered for something, you need to deliver something. So minimum 1 minute.
So you give me limitation from the other side.
That is
This is
perfect.
terrible
Yes.
people. They limited me
Yes.
from the bosses. Anyway, I had a short lecture with my friend, a wonderful lady from Great Britain. Her problem is that she likes Russian literature. So she wants to translate Platonov, Andrei Platonov, very famous Russian writer. Her father, actually very famous person in the artsy world of Great Britain, but I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about the way how I help her to translate text, which is potentially untranslatable. We spent about half an hour talking about nuances of Russian and English, stylistic, problematic, conspicuous and less conspicuous things in literature. And finally, she almost started to cry because she told me, Dima, I understood everything. I read everything about beginning of 20th century, Soviet era, and whatever I read about, but I still cannot translate it to English. Because what does it mean in English, гражданин начальник? And I could not explain to her. I tried, I said that, this is our hierarchical system of power. It meant that we are a country of concentration labor camps from one side, and siloviki from the other side. And she told me, yes, I understand this, Dima, but I cannot translate it into proper English language. So what should I do? And I told her finally, only one consolation prize, which I could tell her was that, listen, life is not about perfectness. It's about perfectness. Meanwhile, you feel this gap between perfection and real life. You have chance to improve yourself. So let's be imperfect, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Okay, you make it look easy. Sorry. It was supposed to be grind. And you make it fun. You, Mr. in the blue, Mr. Roman. My number is the blue. Yeah, Mr. Roman, rare friend. Rare because I rare it here. How about this? I know. Oh my God. Yeah, it's yours, actually. I know it. So I need to comment it? Yeah, you have a minute. From 1 minute to 2 minutes, you know that.
Social media and time wasting. Can you cut down on social media and what not? If yes, please share your secret. Yeah, thank you very much for this question. Actually, it's a very serious question, I believe. Not as funny maybe as the previous one, because social media is so devastating for our brain, I believe. We have too many information coming from different sources, and to get your brain ready for something new, you should get rid of something old. And social media is actually most of the information that comes in social media, you don't need it. So what did I to overcome this problem? First of all, I delete myself from the VK totally, never to visit it. Second, what I did is to install an app that says to me that every day, and I put there a habit that I need to feel. So I put it there to every morning I have to have half an hour without my phone. So, and if I break it, so it just penalizes me and has some point for me. The same for my dinner and the same before I go to sleep. This is actually very difficult to do this, and sometimes I cannot, but it's very beneficial. My brain is much more absent for something new now. Thank you very much.
I had to choose this question for you because I remember not seeing you ever on social media. Yeah. I just remember not seeing you ever on social medias. That's why I had to give this question to you. But after this, it's all random. So yeah, volunteers. Hey, we're in Russia. I can volunteer anyone. Yes. You want to be a member, you have to make a small step. Several small steps.
Sorry, I have a very bad level.
Yeah, but we are here to get better. Okay.
And we call it volunteer.
Come on here. You can see yourself. Yeah. So right now it's your name? Victoria.
Sorry.
Choose one.
Just in once I don't
Yeah,
have
just read it.
Okay,
Stability.
stability. Stability more important than the
Elusive.
illusive possibilities. Then can you change this?
Huh?
Can you take
Hey, it's spoilers. People don't like spoilers. Hey, I had a low EGA results.
Time, making sure that your time is not wasted is one of the more important things. Explaining. Are you willing to set up deadlines for yourself? Are you able to keep down the time wasting desires?
I'm not sure about wasting time.
Okay, time. Making sure that your time is not wasted is one of the more important things in planning. Are you willing to set up deadlines for yourself? Are you able to keep down the time-wasting desires? Tell us.
It's about time. Just talk about
Yeah,
time.
talk about
What do you do to not waste time? Very simple.
You know, the procrastination, that's my problem. It's the biggest problem for me. And I tried to set up deadlines for me, but just for optimization of my working flow. And because I'm on remote job, it's a very important thing for me, because when I start work early, I can end my work at at night, and without setting out some deadlines, I just wasted my time. And I think it's important to set some deadlines in your timeline, and it's a part of your self-organization, time management, and don't waste time, and don't use your telephone so much.
You made the first step. Was it scary? It will all change. Come on. I always forget what I was about to say when I step here. But yeah, managing the stress is one of the things that these people are good at, especially this one. So, Mr. Dima.
Yes.
Do you have any more volunteers?
Oh, no, it's up to more proficient and experienced speakers, I would say.
If you want to.
Okay, sure.
Anyone?
Mistakes.
Personal life, talking about friends and relatives. If it comes to that, will you give up socializing your friends for a chance to work extra time for a goal you want? Or will it only bring more problems in the long run? What about your family? So the question is about, will I give up time with my family in order to reach a personal goal? Mr. Table Topics Master, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, who wants to give up their family? Anybody here? Nobody wants to give up their family. Of course not. But do you also not want to give up your goal? For me, this is a problem that I had for several years. I had a family in America, wife, children, grandchildren, and I wanted to work around the world. I didn't want to work in America. I worked in Russia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Poland, Czechoslovakia. I wanted to work around the world. That was my goal. But I have a family. So, you have to talk to your family and say, dear, I want to go travel. And she says, that's up to you, Michael. Oh, you're okay. She said, no, it's up to you to decide. So sometimes you have to decide. For my wife, it wasn't a problem. We were married a lot of years, so I told her, I'm going to travel. But for my children, how do you explain it to the kids? There is a way. Every time I travel somewhere, I will bring you back a gift. Use that as a bargaining chip. So I travel. When I come home, I had to make sure I had 2 presents, 1 for each child. As long as I did that, they were satisfied. So for me, I got to meet my goal, but I also had to make sure that they were satisfied. Mr. Toastmaster, Table Topics Master, back to you.
Great as always. Yeah, just practice and you'll be just like Mike.
Nobody wants to be like me.
Hey, don't say that. We can't say that. And how about, oh,
I just volunteer.
I look at our guests.
You always have the most complicated philosophical.
I like
so
it.
I try to pick the one that's got the most words.
But you can see it's not completely.
Okay, in some cases, people are pursuing change in order to gain happiness, but is chasing it futile? Should one strive for it and gain it at some point in the future, or should one look for it in the present?
It was carrot and the donkey.
I'm just trying to understand what you've written here. You're pursuing change. Change, happiness. I guess change, happiness is a futile.
Right?
Yes, I am ready. So I would, it's a very profound, complicated, and I guess I should say interesting question. Thank you very much for that one. I just feel 10 seconds just saying that. I believe that actually I am a person who seeks change because I think change brings me happiness. I don't think being in a static situation or environment for a long period of time keeps me happy. When I was younger, I used to think in 2-year cycles. Time passed and I realized that I actually seem to be now in 10-year cycles. But I left my pretty secure comfort zone in China, if you could say that. I've had sort of a discomforting comfort zone, but I'd been there for a long time. I was used to my life and my environment, had lots of friends, knew my way around the city. And I came here because I really felt stifled. I needed something different. I needed something different so that my brain would grow. And so I would escape from that comfort zone and try to achieve something different. And through that, achieve happiness. So coming here has enabled me to break out of that comfort zone. It hasn't enabled me yet to achieve total bliss and happiness. The weather is a factor. The long winters followed by bright summers is an interesting challenge. And of course, COVID has made it more difficult. So this club is a chance actually for me to seek some different change. I think by coming up and actually coming up and doing this, a table topic, that's changed. So from this, I will sit down and I will feel satisfied as long as I am speaking for less than 2 minutes. And so that's all I'm going to say today. Thank you very much for.
And I actually insist on the last question. Also, yeah, speaking all the time is the problem I remember from this club. And it's been several months. I'm glad that we are over it. So I know the last question because, well, it's the worst one. But yeah, I need someone from Russia to answer this one because otherwise it would be unfair. Yeah, because different outlooks on life, I'd say for Europeans it would be far easier to answer.
First name?
No, name.
Kate.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I'm a bit stressed.
I didn't recognize you. Ah, okay.
I'm for the first time here.
You look like someone I know.
Oh god, okay. And my hands are a bit shaky, okay. So stability. Is stability more important than the elusive possibilities that you might gain if you are to give it up, especially here in Russia? Or is it the other way around? Oh my god, about stability. Okay, so lots of people, especially my mom's generation or my granny's generation, count on that stability and they want to work for government, for instance, or for some organization that could provide it. But actually, stability is not like that. You're never sure about the way things can turn, and some implications can happen here. And the thing is that stability is a kind of boring routine that will never help you fulfill your potential, open it. And the thing is that you should choose your own path, no matter how hard it can seem, and no matter how difficult it might be, because not all people around you will support you.
it's really difficult to find it, and it's really difficult for other people to see that it's important to you, that it's important to be an artist of your life, not a person, a clerk, for instance, in an office. And for me, stability used to be the priority, and now it's not, because stability means your comfort zone. And when you are inside your comfort zone, you don't develop. And the main thing of a person is to develop what they have, that gift that they are born with. And when you develop it, when you fulfill your potential, you are more satisfied with your life, because it becomes more, it becomes brighter. It is what? Oh, yes. So yeah. So it's you are surrounded with more people who think differently than you were used to, maybe. And yeah, I am against stability, and for some other thoughts.
That's kind of unusual here. Yeah, that's what I would often ask Russian people, because stability is kind of the main stay point in many Russian people. For example, my family. The stability, especially financial stability, is the most important cornerstone thing. If it's not there, the family is in ruins. So yeah, that's why I wanted to ask Russians. Maybe we have the same outlook, maybe we have the different, because I think the Europeans have different outlook. That's why I wanted to ask this question, especially. Thank you. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Here, I think we did overtime. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think we did a very good job.
Only 2 people stumbled on my question.
If I compare it to a year ago, we did an amazing job.
Thank you.
It's very, very hard for someone to come up and be a table topic speaker for the first time, especially when Alexander has one of his extremely complex and profound questions. So I struggle to understand what they are. If you could make sense of them, then you're definitely eligible to join our club. Easy. So again, we appreciate everyone participating. If you're not a member of a club and just a guest, and if you're the guest here for the first time and you just stood up, that's even more amazing. And as Alexander said, the first step is very hard, second step is hard, and then it gets easier and easier. All of the things that you see us doing today, we rotate each week. So people take different roles. By volunteering in the role, you get exposed to a different side of speaking, and it helps you grow and improve yourself. Now we are into part 3. So part 3 is the evaluation session of our meeting. And what we will do is I will ask Marina to come up and to lead us. Oh, excuse me, one moment. We must know our table topic speakers. We had 6 table topic speakers. I'm not Mr. Randall.
I didn't know that.
It's Michael's plan.
Okay, dear ladies and gentlemen, what we need to do right now is that you take a look at these 6 candidates, and I'm going to tell you the timing to make sure if everyone is evaluated and everyone is allowed to be evaluated. We have number 1, it's Dima, it's this guy over here with 140, so it's good to go. Number 2 is Roman, the guy in the blue in the almost last row. It's good to go with 139. Number 3, Victoria. Where was Victoria? That's the lady over here with 127. You're good to go in the game. Number 4, Michael with 149, always green light. Rendell 153, and last but not least, Kate. Where is Kate? Kate, right there. Hey, 155, green light to go as well. Everyone is obliged to be voted for. Please take out your mobile phones and wait till I will publish the screen to take your votes with a QR code. What I'm going to do right now.
So table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. We give an extra grace of 30 seconds according to the official rules of Toastmasters.
There we go.
We have 2 invisible men.
7 we have. Please give me a sign if it works or not.
No, they gave me permanent marker.
Thank you for participating.
Oh, that's great. That's at least nice and polite. Let's see if we can do that.
Just like the previous one.
Oh boy, does it? We don't want that. Hold on. Even if it is, it should go.
She is?
Yep. Does it work?
And I hope she, can hear.
Oh, okay. Then we should take over to the evaluation section, which Randall will do, and I will prepare another vote, and then we'll come back to it after the evaluation section. Over to you.
Okay, very good. Let me ask Marina to come up, and Marina is going to take charge of our evaluation session of the meeting, beginning with the speech evaluation. Marina, welcome back.
I'm back again. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you. Third part of our meeting is evaluation, and that means that there are going to be three people who's going to come up on the stage and evaluate our brilliant speakers. So the first is going to be Anna Soldatova. And let me check if Anna Soldatova is here with us. Hey, Anna, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. So Anna is going to evaluate Konstantin Kuts, his first speech. And please, Anna, welcome to the room.
Thank you. Thank you, Marina. And I'm evaluator for Konstantin's speech, Let's Get Famous, which purpose is to practice developing and presenting a proposal. I must admit that I like very much the idea about a book club, so maybe my evaluation could be a little bit conspicuously. Anyway, I insist that any proposal should be convincing, so my feedback will be according to this approach. Let me start with Konstantin. Konstantin was excellent at. And firstly, it was nice to hear the speech which is exactly consistent with Konstantin's role in our club. And also, I like that it was quite good structured, following its main purpose. And I also like to see goal-oriented approach. Konstantin told us about his personal aims and doesn't forget about club's interests. Talking about speech techniques, I like that Konstantin worked with audience and this work was fantastic. Konstantin asked questions, made vivid examples for master classes and roles of our club members. It was great. And I really appreciate the final of the speech with its exciting quotation and bright association with a magnet. And moreover, it was great to see the exact first steps to implement these proposals. Talking on area of improvements, maybe it wasn't a good idea to characterize your proposal with the word boring. It isn't very suitable idea for the scene which you try to sell. Also, I'm like a kind of financial animal, and I would offer Konstantin to present more detailed and structured financial plan to support his proposals. And unfortunately, being a venture investor, after such kind of pitch, I wouldn't give Konstantin my money. Sorry for that. And the last but not the least, I think that Konstantin could work a little bit more on his pose and gestures to be more convincing. So thank you very much, and thank you, Marina. Back to you.
Great to see you back, and hoping to see you next meeting live here, maybe in St. Petersburg. Okay, so our second evaluation be Roman Malashin, and he's going to evaluate our master of speaking, Michael Bader.
Thank you very much for introduction. So Michael was delivering a speech, and the purpose was to learn about and apply the skills needed to run a lessons learned meeting during a project or after its completion. And the purpose was to share some aspect of his or her leadership experience and the impact of a lesson learned meeting. First of all, congratulations, you completed it. And firstly, I would like to say that the topic was appealing. Actually, it might be a little bit surprising, but so many people raised hands when you said, including me, who wants to publish. Yeah, but maybe we don't know how difficult it is. Yeah, so it was a very appealing topic. It was very great. Of course, we saw how competent you are, how competent communicator you are, how you use gestures, how you use tones, voice. As soon as you're a very experienced person, I would like to mention maybe things that I believe can be improved because it will be more beneficial to you. First of all, vocal variety. It was great. I liked how you used all this and how you used intonations. But what I would like to see more emotions, because I see this shield of you, you know, when you speak in front of the big audience, big shield helps. I believe it helps a lot to Michael when he is in front of the big audience. This shield that is not affected by that. But here we have small audience. We have fellow Walter, fellow Randall, and we want maybe something more close. Maybe not this shield, something removed to feel kindness, happiness. What we see from not that experienced people, but we are more personal to them, right? I liked you had additional material that's a word or a picture of what's thousands of words. Yeah, so that was great. So you showed us these books. We know this is real books, not fake. Yeah. I was surprised we were out of time. So, and actually I have like two guesses why you did so. So one is surprising that you were out of time, and that was not intentional, but maybe you want to be out of time, not to be in the competition, to give others more opportunities because you are so many in contests. Maybe I want to see, how can I say, I want to see good in people, yeah, so you did it intentionally, but if you did it not intentionally, so this is actually was very disappointing. I was a little bit confused about the structure because as an evaluator, I was looking for lessons learned meeting. So, and you were talking about your experience, and I think it was a little bit too compressed, these lessons, these final lessons. I wanted more, maybe repeated in different phrases, the same lessons you learn, because this is like the juice of all the speech. Finally, I like the ending because you finished like you do what you do and other people want you to, and I need an audience to finish. So Michael actually said that he used the leader of change as the title of his book, and the editor wants you to lead yourself first, this title. So who thinks leader of change is the better title for the book, is more catchy? So leader of change and leader yourself first, what is better? Leader of change, raise your hands who consider leader of change is better. Okay, you see most of the people knows, people do what, as you said, do what you do, and I also believe lead yourself first is more catchy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roman, so much, and it's a great evaluation, and I'm sure it's pretty hard to talk about Michael. And our third evaluator is going to be Viktor Mikhailov, and he's going to evaluate Valeriya in her speech. I'm remarkable.
We've heard a really conspicuous speech of Valeriya about I'm remarkable, which is a very interesting topic for everyone. I believe it's important for everybody, and everyone seeks an opportunity how to present themselves in the better light. And what I should mention that she did great research, which was topic of her speech, and she did an awesome presentation. I would say it's professionally done graphical presentation with pictures, colors, and nice fonts. So I've never seen such presentations on Toastmasters before, which is really awesome, which shows that she had been preparing hard for this. What I could suggest to her to improve, actually to be more comfortable on stage, more comfortable than I speak even, but it's way to develop her public speaking skills and to be more passionate with ideas, what she offers. What I mean, when you give some ideas to others, you need to share your experience so that others would intercept what you offer them and take it as your personal experience. So it should be learning speech, I would say, teaching speech for others. So you could be more friendly to audience and more empathic on the stage. So you had really good eye contact with the audience, but your appeal to the people could be more natural and more friendly, more nice, maybe funny in some ways, and so that to be more friendly with audience. I should say that you can work on vocal variety with the speech, with the clarity of ideas which you present to others, and to be more comfortable on the stage, which comes with experience. And thank you very much for very well done research, for the links, ideas, and my best wishes for your career as a public speaker.
Thank you, dear evaluators. And right now, I would like to ask about your time.
Yes, Gillian and Jennifer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Gillian and Jennifer, time to report as following. Mine. Ready. Anna Salvador joining us online from Saint Petersburg. Anna, is that correct? Yes. 3 minutes start, so she's in the game. Roman, the guy in the blue, tries to pick him outside of the game with 3 minutes and 30 seconds, which is still in. It's still in because we have the 30 seconds tolerance after the red light. And Victor was 2 minutes and 45. Everyone is in. So thank you very much, and we'll have a vote for these guys as well in a second.
Thank you so much, Volker. Are we gonna? Can we have a home try now, or is it you need some time?
No, we can try. Do the vote. Please,
okay, dear Toastmasters, we just wanted to also explain that we also voting for our evaluators, and it's you know, it's also a hard work to give someone feedback, and it's very important work. It's something that we seen from the side, and it's something out of what we're learning, and we're getting better at it. Since we have all three eligible for the vote,
please make sure. Give me a feedback what you see if you click that one. Who is the previous one? That is correct. Make sure you vote for the table topic, the guys over there. And once you've done so, after 10 or 15 seconds, I assume you're digital natives and know how to click buttons. And then we move on to the next QR code, which will be the evaluators. Okay, no, Roman's still on it. Okay. Roman? No, you can't call this. It's a QR code. Don't call it. Yeah. Just use your photo thing. It should pop up. With everyone else, did it work? Did it work? Yes. That's good. Roman, give it another go.
I'll keep neutral.
Okay, good. Okay, right. For everyone else, let's give it a go. For the next vote, which I'm clicking on, is the other QR code. And now you should receive the nomination for the 3 evaluators. Does that work? Give me please a yes or a yes. You have to start it. Oh, lucky. Hold on. What is this? Oh, no. Hold on. It is started. Save the poll. Not started. Started. There we go. Oh, okay. Now, guys, can I have a yes and a yes? Thank you. Please vote for the best evaluator. Anna, Roman, or Victor should be on your screen now. I take your silence as you can shout it out. That's allowed. I want to hear you. Was it a yes? Yes. Yes, that's the yes. Thank you. Good. We need to work on the background music while the poll is going on. Rami, did you make your call? Can you use your hands or your voice to give me feedback? Did you share with them? Yes. Yes. Was he done? Good. Okay, Marina, we'll hand it back to you.
And we'll announce our later, right? Okay. Anyhow. All right. All right, and now it's time to give a word to our grammarian and our counter, Rami Said. He's going to tell us about how many as and oohs we said during this meeting, and he also going to report about conspicuous word that I never pronounced today. I'm sorry, Rami, but the stage is yours.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I would like to congratulate you all for doing this amazing session. I've taught a lot of nice moments, and you really kept me busy with catching things. So be ready. So today I managed to catch 3 mentions of the word conspicuous. Konstantin Kuts, congratulations, Michael Wader and Anna Saldatova. And right now, maybe we can say Marina. And also, I managed to find 2 improper uses of grammar. Instead of saying too many information, maybe it's better to say so much information. Instead of saying who's think, who thinks. It's better to say. I noticed one statement said by Konstantin Kuts, which I liked, is strive for excellence. Good use of that. As for the ahs and ums, Randall, as the Toastmaster, you had 7 ahs, 3 ums, and ers, which is good. Marina, you had 4 ahs, 7 ums. Walter had 3. Victor had 1. Alexander Chernov had 1 ah. Konstantin Kuts had 8 ums, 2 ahs. Michael Wader, I didn't manage to find anything. Valeriya Gagarina, 17 ums. And Dima, I didn't find anything. For Victor Mikhailov, I managed to find 4 ums. For Victoria, 5 ums. And Anna Saldatova, 30 ahs. Raman Malashin, 8. Back to you, Marina. Thank you.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you for fulfilling this difficult role to follow everyone's us and oaths and all the grammarian stuff. And right now, I'd like to introduce you to our quiz master. He's going to test your listening skills today and all the details that were mentioned during the meeting. So, Victor, are you connected with us? Yes, we can see you.
Yeah.
So, Victor, it's your time to shine.
Okay. Dear fellow Toastmasters, despite a few conspicuous hiccups what we experienced remotely here, I need your full attention and would like to ask you a few questions. First question to the entire auditorium. With reference to the Konstantin's speech, what he suggested we can learn from Walter in one of the master classes. I repeat the question. What Konstantin suggested we can learn from Walter in one of the master classes?
Victor, I think it's hard to hear for you. I'm just going to be repeating somebody's answers. So our audience said,
They say it, and then it will be heard, and you can say yes.
All right, I'll try to pick someone so they can answer the question. So someone from the audience, I'm not sure who was first, but said it was, okay, that was Roman. He said that it's dancing. Is it right?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Then I have a second question. When Michael published his first and second books? What year?
Roman?
2005, 2010.
2005, 2010?
No, not really.
Then I saw 8. So 2003, 2003 and 2005.
Almost there. One more try.
Okay. And then 2010 and 2003?
No, 2000.
No.
2000 and 2003.
No.
No?
I give you the right answer. 2001 and 2003.
2000 and 2001. 2000 and 2001?
2001 and 2003.
2001 was there. Okay. That's a hard one.
Okay, then moving on. What big company was mentioned as an originator of I Am Remarkable?
Google. Okay.
Yes.
Google. Okay.
Then moving on. Moving to the table topic. How many times Dima was the best table topic speaker? Who remembered?
Paul said it was 2 times.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that right?
Very good.
And then you are a very active listener. And the last question what I have, what country Randall called his comfort zone?
China.
Yes,
China.
Victor, that's correct.
That's right.
That's all from my side.
Okay. Thank you so much, Victor. Dear timer, are we ready to give a report or is it too early?
I do the work.
Oh, you give the word. Okay.
So now is the time for you, Marina, to give us your evaluation report on our meeting.
Yeah.
As the general
As the
evaluator.
general evaluator. Okay. Yes. All right, so I'm back again. Let's pretend we're moving pretty fast. So I'm going to try to give my comments just to observations just throughout the meeting that I noticed. Maybe I'm going to miss something, but please, you're all welcome to add something at the end. So before the meeting, before we started, I noticed that we always have this struggle to start with the technical issues. And this is my second hybrid meeting. And I see how we're getting better and better at it. And thank you so much to our Mr. President and everybody else who is more familiar with the technical things than I do. So for setting it up for us. But I still do think that we should start our meeting on time, and our time was 12 p.m. today. However, we started at 12:21. So this is not really good because we're all trying to follow our structure, follow our time schedule. And that means that if we lost 20 minutes, it means that we squeezed something during our meetings and didn't have enough time, let's say, for table topics to have more fun, right? Or somebody had less time for their speeches. So just suggesting to follow time frame in the future. I also noticed that we have a lot of guests today, and I'm very happy to see you all on this Saturday afternoon joining us. We all would like to hear your feedback at the end and see how
you felt comfortable from the beginning till the end, because we welcome in the beginning and explain you how this meeting was supposed to work. I'm not sure I saw we had a lot of members helping you guys to set up and fill out all the paperwork, but at the end of our meeting, we're still going to be here for some time and going to help you to understand a little bit better how to join the club and how to be our member. We had a Toastmaster, and Randall was very quiet today. He introduced us to the meeting. He led our meeting, and that was great, because I think Randall is, for me, just my personal comment, I think he represents some kind of patience, superhuman, superhuman in the word of patience. And if something is going crazy and not as planned, he is always patient and calm. So if you're gonna Google, and in Google, there's gonna be some kind of vocabulary with the pictures, you're gonna find his picture for the word patience. Also, I like how Randall was introducing us to the theme of the day, election, and he prepared a small presentation, or I think it was a PowerPoint, so with the pictures. So it was also visual that we could read and see. So thank you for good preparation and adding a visual part for us. Also, I didn't know about the election time, that it's supposed to be May. So it was also informative for our club. And moving on to our speakers, you guys did a really good job, and congratulations again for overstepping your biggest fear and coming over on the stage with the preparation. Konstantin, I also wanted to add to your evaluator feedback that I do think that you, I saw you before online, just doing speeches online. I didn't see you in person on live meetings. So I noticed that you do use your body language and you move a lot on the stage. And I think I like that you added this, some movements in this meeting. So, and also, your smile, your humor, it also opens up for this audience. Michael, as always, you bring in us interesting subjects, and that was great to hear about your book. I was also curious about, I didn't know that publishing is actually harder than writing a book. That was a big surprise to me. Thank you for bringing out this subject. I was always curious about how you actually publish in this, and I was surprised to know that it's really hard. And Valeriya, thank you for a great preparation for your speech. Indeed, the actual presentation on the PowerPoint was very colorful. It was also very catchy. It was good to see it. So it was good to see you. It was good to see the presentation. Also, Alexander, thank you for interesting and very conspicuous thoughts and questions. It's always good to have questions that makes you think and makes you improvise. I also like, I like our meetings that we do have a lot of notices and chats. I also like our meetings because it makes you think about, some philosophical questions, and I took away a few things from here, if you don't have doors to open, just let's build a door, or something where if you want to be happy, let's fulfill your potential and get out of your comfortable zone. So that's great. And I think we are great with the time, right? My time is up. And I'm giving the word back to Randall.
Thank you very much. So this is a first for Marina to give a presentation as a general evaluator. And it's scary and it's hard, and there are so many things that need to be pulled together. First time you do it, it's hard. The second time you do it, it's easy. It's going to be harder. And then the third time it gets easier. And after you've done it 45 times, as Marina likes to practice things multiple times before she finally passes them. But it gets much, much easier. And as we said in the middle, maybe, this is a club of volunteers. You're all welcome to join. The joining process is not difficult. If you do join, then you will fully participate in the prepared speeches, and you will help us grow this club. And we want to grow the club. We want to grow the club so that the burden is shared across all of the members, and it becomes more fun, and we start to do more interesting, creative things. Now, you have all voted today for 3 things: for a best speaker, a best table topic speaker, and the best evaluator. So if we can have a bit of a drum roll, Walter's going to come up as club president, and our vice president of public relations is going to take a picture as we present. Oh, well, he can also take pictures.
He will be receiving. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I got to stand. Oh, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, you can't actually. All right, the first award is going to the best evaluator. The best evaluator award goes to, I think Roman Moloshin, our past president.
No, you must in the middle. In the middle. Thank you. You hand it in.
Congratulations, Roman.
That's the most official thing we've ever done. You got it? Alex, you can come into the center as well, please.
Can we get a video?
Can you come here?
Can you just slow motion video
and do a picture from you? Thank you. From here, thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Best Table Topics Award for the 139th meeting of the Saint Petersburg Toastmasters Club goes to Kate.
Congratulations. Over there.
Over here.
And over here.
And over there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Better?
Ladies and gentlemen, the best speaker of the 139th meeting of the Toastmasters Club of St. Petersburg goes to Konstantin Kuts.
Thank you so much. So that would be a selfie right now, right?
Hold it with respect.
That's all it doesn't work. Yeah, thank you.
This is suitable for framing. This A4 signed personally by the president. You may frame and place on your wall. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Randall, for...
I am now going to, I think, hand the meeting to you. So over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Dear ladies and gentlemen, if you can see us providing a little bit of a show here in front of the stage, this is due to the fact that the offline and online world is still beginning for us, although it's, I think, the 3rd meeting we're doing here, and that's why it's a lot of improvisation which is required. However, I would very much also on behalf of my presidency, thank you very much for joining us today, because it's only the real life which can teach you how to stand here in front of a real audience. Even throughout the online world, to feel your shaking hands, to see when someone's coming in or coming out, to realize that your presentation doesn't be translated on the screen and still focusing on delivering speech, this is the only meat you can get to get rid of your hunger in real life. Thus, you're very welcome to join our club and improve your speech in real life and the real life situation. This is something we as members can only invite you to do so. If you have some questions, let us know. If not, thank you very much for being with us and for participating in our 139th online session. A very warm goodbye in fresh St. Petersburg. Stay tuned and sign up for membership to see you at this stage. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much for pointing that out, Michael. For everyone who asked for the next meeting is going to be in 2 weeks. We're always meeting bi-weekly, all 14 days throughout the period of time. We fixed this location now officially until August entirely in this room. right? That was a big task to do coming back to the library. Double check on VK, we have a group, double check on this library session because they pointed out publicly as well. And then just register and come by to see you speak again. Any questions from your side, guys? Just let me know, how did you find us? How did you like us? The lady in the back, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Where are you from? How did you find us? How do you like it? What do you expect? Because I see not everyone was here before. I see some faces. What about you girls in the back? Yes, exactly. Okay, great. What's the first time you're here, right? Yeah. Okay, what about you, Kate, and your girlfriend over here? Or your oh, something's going on here. Yes, very good. You took a presentation with yours. Presentation, a prize, not a presentation. What about you, lady? Can I ask you? Ah, you are the friend. Yeah, how did you think she was doing? How do you think she was doing? Yeah, that's the right answer, obviously. I would say the same. And what's the interesting thing, what I could take away from today, sitting more at the side of it, looking after the technical stuff. People who join us, they're saying, oh, I won't say a lot. And almost everyone, people are over time. And this is what happens when you start speaking. People totally forget that they were afraid to speak. And this is something I would love the majority of you guys to experience as well. So, okay, off to the next session, and you enjoy your very day. Thank you very much.